Okay, so I know a month without the internet, it's kind of like not that impressive compared to some of the other stuff people have done on this platform, but it's still going to be a challenge for me. Cutting out internet in your life altogether is a pretty drastic measure, and you don't need to do that. You just gotta like consume everything in moderation, including the internet. But for me, I have like no self-control, okay? And I feel like the internet has taken over my life and I just consume it all of the time, and I want to get that control in my life back, which is why I'm doing this. So this challenge is going to be a month and a week because I am taking online classes right now, and I need to be able to get a month ahead for the challenge to start, to be pure, complete, no internet. So it's currently September 6th, which means this challenge will start on September 13th and go to
October 12th.
Okay, so it's been 3 hours, and I think I'm in trouble. I was sitting there feeding Logan, who is my 4-month-old son, and I had to fight every urge in my body not to just be like, oh, I'm just going to turn on the TV while I do this, or I'm just going to pull up a YouTube video while I do this. And that's a little concerning. So
today's been a long day, and it's not even because I can't watch YouTube videos or get on the internet or anything. It's just because college is dumb. There's a class where I have to be in a team, right? And this team is like 65% of my grade, but I missed the class where we got into teams. So I've been messaging people desperately on Teams to get into a team, but nobody wants to message me back. And I messaged the professor during class, and I know he saw my message because a little team bubble came down, which said he saw my message, and he didn't respond at all. He didn't say nothing. Anyway, I really just want to watch a YouTube video and relax, but I can't watch YouTube videos, so I'm gonna figure out how to relax another way, so that's fun.
Okay, so this morning I really just wanted to get onto my computer and wasted the whole morning because that's what I usually do. But instead, I sat on the bed until that feeling went away. So now I'm gonna go take the dog on a walk.
So it's the end of the day. I'm not very good at this, whatever this is. I figured I'd update you on the whole team member class situation. I got into a team, which is great. I did homework all day. And there were several times throughout the day where I wanted to just stop doing homework and do something else less productive. But I didn't do that. You know, something interesting about doing this is that I'm not up to date on any current events. Like, for example, apparently the Queen died today, and I only heard about it because my wife told me.
Okay. It's currently 9:03 on Saturday. Yesterday I should have been doing homework, but I was experimenting with a video idea all day, and anyway, my point is, I don't think I'm going to be able to get a month ahead on homework. That was kind of an optimistic goal. Oh, I have to change the rules of the challenge to say no internet unless it pertains to homework. Also, in the spirit of being totally open, I opened Facebook to go to Marketplace because I'm selling some stuff on Marketplace, and I read a post. I read a post on Facebook, so bad me. Okay, time to go to work. Yesterday, I usually listen to podcasts while I work, and I didn't listen to any, and it was really weird, and I really want to listen to some, and since the challenge doesn't technically start until, like, Tuesday, I think, was that when I said it was going to? I'm going to listen to podcasts today, because I want to, and I'm going to, so sue me.
Look at this dude. Doesn't give a crap. So it's Monday. The challenge starts tomorrow. I think I'm in a pretty good position to be able to do it. This week was kind of like a good test run to see if I could actually be able to go without internet for a week, and I was able to do it for a week. So, you know, a month shouldn't be that hard. Well, I say I did it for a week, you know. I didn't get on YouTube for a week, except for yesterday.
I showed a video to my wife. So that doesn't count. I'm not counting that one. Also, this is Doc McStuffins, in case anyone's wondering. So the new rule is no internet unless absolutely necessary. And my wife is going to be the judge of whether or not it's absolutely necessary.
Okay. What? 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 What do you want? Ah! Today is officially day 1 of the challenge. I just got back from taking the dog on a walk. On the docket today, we have from now, which is about 8:30 to 11, I'm gonna be cleaning the house and putting the laundry away, and then my wife's gonna come home, and then I'm gonna clean the car, and then after that, I'm going to be doing homework the rest of the day. Oh, and I forgot to mention somehow that I have class at 4 today. Pretty easy day. I got all my time slots filled, so I shouldn't have any distractions.
Yeah, nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me.
So I got this Nerf gun launcher thing for my dog. This thing is awesome. Quick review of it. Quick review of it real quick.
The Nerf Super Bounce is a rubber ball launcher for dogs. To use, simply pinch the button on the slider to slide it forward, load the included rubber ball, slide the handle towards you, and pull the trigger. This product is advertised to launch balls at over 100 feet, and while that is probably true, you can also throw them just as far as it launches them. So if you're thinking this will launch it farther than you can throw, it probably won't. The launcher also comes with a detachable storage container. To access, simply slide the slider down and the balls will freely roll out. The launcher is a little loud when fired, and the slider can be a little difficult to pull towards you. Overall, not a necessary purchase, but a cool one. 8 out of 10.
Okay, do you want to hear about my absolutely insane day yesterday? So I woke up and took the dog on a walk with my wife, and then we went to the diner that we usually go to every week, which is the Black Bear Diner. Great diner, I would highly recommend. And then we came home and was chilling for a bit when our upstairs neighbors said they were moving and they wanted to give us a ton of food. So we went upstairs and we got a ton of food from them, so we had to organize all of that food. And then we had to clean the whole house because my dad was coming over to watch Logan so that we could go to a concert. And then we went to the Cole Swindle concert, and that was really fun. And then we went to the fair afterwards, and there was that thing where you have to hang for 100 seconds in order to get $100. And my friend Isaac was like, hey, if you really think you can do it, I'll give you the $10 to do it. And I was like, don't worry, Isaac, I watched a YouTube video on how to do this once. And then I tried it, and it was a lot harder than it looks, and I only lasted for like 58 seconds, which is a lot longer than I thought, honestly. And it's so frustrating because that's how they get you, because it was just like right there. I could have had that $100. It was right in my grasp. Oh, also, I was screaming really loud at the concert, so if my voice sounds a little weird, that's why. So last night was really rough. Logan usually sleeps in his car seat, but he's getting too big for it, so we're trying to get him to actually sleep in the crib, and he really didn't want to. Anyway, today is like the very first day where I don't have something scheduled for every second of it. I have stuff to do until like noon, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do. So my wife just called me, and she said that she can't make it home for lunch, which means I have to take the bus to her work because she has the car to deliver her lunch, and I'm not at all mad about it because it's given me something to do. Are you ready to go? You ready to go see your favorite dog? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? So I'm at Andrew's house. Why am I at Andrew's house? Well, because the cat peed on one of our towels, and Andrew has a dinky little washing machine that can wash 1 or 2 items at a time. So instead of going to the laundromat, I came here. It's 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. It's really nice this time of morning. There's like no cars and no people, but it's a little dark. I just launched the ball, and I don't think Luca can see where it is. You know how I had to like make lunch and then get on the bus to take that lunch to my wife yesterday? Turns out she didn't even eat it. Work gave her Olive Garden. Did you find it, buddy? You found it! Oh, you found it. Okay, sit. It's okay though, I'm not really mad. It was kind of fun. So not using the internet is hard in a lot of aspects, but one thing I never considered is when I was swiping absent-mindedly left and right on my phone. If you swipe all the way to the left, a bunch of news articles would pop up, and I read one that said McDonald's CEO before I realized what I was doing, and I threw my phone across the room basically. So I'm not a perfect person. Anyway, I would do another time lapse like I did last week, but my phone is not has storage good.
So I was thinking about this today at work. It feels really weird not to be caught up on current events. Like, I'm usually someone who cares a lot about current events, but now I'm kind of just sticking my head in the sand and going la 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 la. And I feel a lot better since sticking my head in the sand, which feels wrong because that's basically saying that I don't care about the rest of the world or other people's problems, and that sounds selfish, which is why I'm conflicted. It's like that phrase, ignorance is bliss. Absolutely true. But the only problem is that phrase is usually used in context situations of like dictatorships, and it's like, oh, the people were ignorant, and so, you know, which isn't good.
I bit my tongue. Ah. How do you get your tongue to stop bleeding? Anyway, I offloaded a bunch of storage on my phone, so I get to make a new time lapse! Yay! I ran out of balls to launch at him, so I'm using apples now. So those apples were actually really gross, so I decided to pick them up.
Okay, so my wife and I got a storage unit yesterday and we put some stuff in it, but this box spring right here didn't fit. So we just threw it in the dumpster, and then my apartment manager got mad at us that we didn't break it down. So that's what I gotta do right now. See, that wasn't so hard.
So I was at PetSmart yesterday, and they have one of these launcher blasters, but it's for $45. I got this at Costco for $20. Granted, it was on sale. It's usually $29, but the regular price of PetSmart's launcher is like almost twice the regular price of Costco's.
I mean, to be honest, you really shouldn't buy anything from PetSmart anyway. I mean, TJ Maxx has high quality pet toys, for crying out loud, and they're way cheaper than PetSmart. Also, Mom, if you're watching this, I know you gave us that box spring, and I'm sorry for destroying it. It's too much. What? It's Friday already? I can hear you saying, yeah, I know, it's Friday. Let's recap my past 2 days, okay? Wednesday was laundry and Thursday was homework. And today is going to be homework too. I don't know how to make that interesting, and I'm sorry. You know what is interesting though? There could be some major event that's happening right now that could immediately affect me, and I wouldn't know about it. Like, for example, hold on, what's a current event that would immediately affect me? The housing market could be crashing right now, and I could buy a house. That's legitimately the only thing I can think about. Or the world is ending, and either way, I think I'd figure that out pretty quick without the news. I don't know. In general, it just kind of feels like not a whole lot in my life has changed anymore. It's like I'm not missing out on anything. At the beginning of this, I had FOMO really bad, but now it's just like, eh.
I really miss my podcasts. Strangely enough, out of everything I have to do in this challenge, my podcasts is the one thing I miss the most. It just makes work go by so fast. Anyway, you could probably tell I've not stopped at my usual place. I usually stop at McDonald's and get their McDonald's breakfast, but I actually ate breakfast this morning, so now I'm just stopped at the gas station to fill up my water bottle. And I don't miss McDonald's at all. Not even a little bit. So my wife was watching a video last night, and it was a video of Zac Efron being interviewed, and I overheard it because she was just watching it in the living room. And he said something, and I was like, oh my goodness, I get it. I mean, obviously it's kind of silly to say that I related to Zac Efron, this uber successful 34-year-old hunk of a man. But I did. He said that he just doesn't get on the internet ever. And when you're that famous to a certain extent, you literally have to separate yourself from the internet. Well, I guess you don't have to, because I know a lot of celebrities don't actually. But he said he did. That's what he said. He's separated from the internet. And I get it. I finally understand. Also, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more time lapses because that video of me destroying the box spring was like 20 minutes long and it took up a lot of space on my computer. So yesterday I was waiting for a food order and it took like 20 to 30 minutes. And I didn't even pull out my phone to check it
like a single time. I'm very proud of myself for that. But you know what? Now saying that out loud, it's kind of like, oh, whoa, you didn't look at your phone. Good for you. I don't know. I was listening to my downloaded music yesterday and Never Take It by 21 Pilots came on. And he's talking about the media and he says, you better educate yourself, but never too much. But like, what is too much? You know what I mean? You can dive into the media and just get lost forever. Is 30 minutes too much? Is 10 minutes too much? Are you supposed to never look at any of it? Like, what is too much?
So it looks like whoever lives here decided to completely cut down their apple tree over the weekend. Look, there's where I picked up all the apples. And that's where the tree used to be. Also, Logan looks super duper adorable in this little bear outfit we got for him. Huh, bud?
So I've been reading this book I've been intending to read for a long time because there's literally nothing else to do. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Flying Fortune. It's kind of like an edgy self-help book. Sometimes it's like, wow, this is really profound, and then other times it's like, did a moody teenager write this? Anyway, he said something in there that really stood out to me. It was basically like, there are only so many things in the world that we can care about, and it's pretty much impossible not to care about nothing because our brain will always care about something. So for example, for me, I stopped caring about the internet, but now I really care about interior design. See that door right there? That's the door to our bathroom. I'm about to go pick up a barn door for the bathroom because the door that we have now opens into the bathroom and takes up a lot of space. All right, I got my trusty barn doors right here. It was $50 and it was an hour away, both ways. And the box is absolutely destroyed because it was rained on. But the wood inside of the box looks perfectly fine, so.
Okay, so the only problem with buying this from someone who is just trying to get rid of it for $50 is that there's no instructions. Okay, I lied. They're right here. Okay, there's the door. That's how it looks so far. That's my cat.
So I gotta screw in some screws into this thing, and my wife got me this handheld electric screwdriver. So I'm gonna be using this while I talk about stuff. So Post Malone has a song called Internet, where he's basically just like, I hate the internet, it's the worst thing in the world. To quote some lyrics from him, he says, if ignorance is bliss, then don't wake me up, and I'll probably be the last to know, because I don't get on the internet anymore. Is not getting on the internet just like a celebrity luxury? Oh, you're so close, dude, you're so close. You got this. You got this.
So I'm at my parents' house doing laundry right now. I don't even remember what day of the challenge I'm on. I think I'm in the teens, but like I don't know for sure.
So you know Bo Burnham's Welcome to the Internet when he says apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime? Aside from being true, like, when did boredom become a crime? Why is it that whenever we're bored, we just whip out our phone? Why can't we just sit with our boredom? Because I think boredom can be a wonderful motivator to either find something more productive to do or find something more enjoyable to do. And staring at your phone, browsing the internet, is neither of those things in my opinion.
Hello. You're beautiful, doggy.
Okay, so you remember when I was saying that I felt conflicted about not knowing what's going on in the world? I think I've reconciled that. And by that I mean, we live in a world that makes it impossible to consume and care about every single piece of content, or every single piece of news, or every single person. It's just not possible. It's easy to get overwhelmed with trying to care about everything. And that's happened to me. I remember at one point my wife said to me, she was like, you can't care about everyone's problems in the world. It's just not possible. Because I had kind of a mental breakdown. And so anyway, what I'm saying is that it's okay to step away and to reevaluate what you really care about.
Jeez, look at my hair. Okay, so yesterday when I was saying that you can't care about everyone, I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about anything or anyone. I'm just saying there are 7 billion people in this world, and it's literally impossible to try and care about every single one of them.
Okay, so there's the door, but the only problem is when I lean it upright, there's like maybe an inch of clearance. The measurements have to be exact. How many days has it been? Like, I don't even, time doesn't mean anything to me anymore. So you know what I've been working on the past, I don't even know how long it's been. Ta-da, look, it's done. It's not done. It's almost done. So the only problem was that it was hitting the baseboards, and my wife was like, don't pull off the baseboards, just get some washers for the things up there. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And then I don't know what came over me, but the baseboards ended up off the wall. So like, anyway, so then I just had to like spackle the whole wall because I ended up like there's holes everywhere. And anyways, I'm waiting for the spackle to dry so that I can sand it and then paint it, and then it's gonna be done. Oh, also, I didn't even mention the pre-drilled holes on the little metal bit on top that holds the track on. They didn't fit up with the studs that were in the wall because whoever built this place was
probably not an architect or an engineer.
So I had to take it to my dad's house to use his drilling press. Anyway, while I wait for the spackle to dry, I'm gonna take Luca to the dog park.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really thought about this video in a couple of days because that's how long it's taken me to put the door on the wall. I don't even think I mentioned this. When I drilled the holes in the wall and put up the bar to hang the barn door, it was too high. So I had to unscrew it from the wall and then put it a couple inches lower so that it would fit. It's been a whole thing, and it's finally done. The only thing we need to do now is stain the door. This is the last week I have to work with no internet, which is actually really nice because this morning I almost listened to music that wasn't downloaded on my phone.
Yeah, that's right. Walk away.
So now that the door is done, my mind has been clinging on to different things to care about around the apartment. Like, for example, my desk. Because I mean, you can't see my desk, but it's like not the greatest. So my mind is like, oh, you could just go buy a piece of wood over at the Home Depot and then install a desk yourself. Or our cabinets don't have any cabinet pulls. So my mind is like, oh, you could just buy some cabinet pulls and install some cabinet pulls into your cabinets. I just need to take a break from working on the apartment because I'm paying for this with my own money. I'm going to show you before and after of what my apartment looked like versus what we did to it. So this is what it looked like when I moved in. We painted and we replaced all the cabinet handles. This is what it looks like now. It's weird because that door was like a huge hassle to me, but I'm also like super proud of it, if that makes any sense. It was enjoyable putting up. I don't think I ever would have discovered how much fun it was or how much I enjoyed it if I had never stopped getting on the internet in the first place. Because the only reason it's up there and it exists right now is because my mind needed something to cling on to. Anyway, it's day 28 of the challenge, which means I have Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's it. How has it been a month already?
So now that the video's almost over, I have to start thinking about a thumbnail. And my first thought was just like me lying around looking bored, but that would kind of be a lie because I haven't really been bored this whole time. Like you would think I'd be bored, but my brain has just latched on to other things. Like that's what happens when you cut out the internet. Is you just find other ways to become busy. Like, you know, you might be bored for a little bit, and I was bored for a little bit, but then I just like filled my life with things that made it so I wasn't bored. Anyways, I don't have any other ideas, so I'm probably just gonna go with the me looking bored idea. Also, you know how I took Luca to the dog park? I think it was on Friday. Apparently you're not supposed to take your dog to the dog park because they'll get really sick. That's what happened to Luca. He got diarrhea for a couple days, and he couldn't control his poop anymore, so don't take your dog to the dog park.
Today's the last day of the challenge. I think this will be my last video entry into this video. What has this experience taught me? Well, you know, I mostly just did this to prove to myself that I could, to be quite honest with you. It also stemmed from a desire to make some original content. I mean, if you think about it, humans have existed without the internet for, well, all of human existence except for the past, like, 30 years. We really don't need the internet. Like, we don't need it. But then, like, that being said, you know, there's, like, so many good things that have come from the internet. It's conflicting. That's what it is. And I think what it really boils down to is the user. The user needs to have self-control, which is not something I have. I didn't make this just to be like, hey, look at me, I didn't use the internet, so you can't use the internet either. All I'm saying is that it was a very good experience for me. If you feel like you cannot go one day without the internet, you are wrong. Life will go on. Anyways, I have lots more videos planned for this channel. So if you would like to see more of me and my content, make sure you go ahead and subscribe because this video took a long time to make. I'll see you hopefully sooner than a month from now.